Hello dear students, in this video I am going to explain the poem Ode to Autumn that is included in your syllabus, and this poem is written by John Keats. In our previous video we have talked about the introduction of the poem and a brief introduction of the poet and also about summary. So Ode to Autumn is one of the most beautiful poems of Keats. There is a fine observation of the world of nature and an exquisite pictorial quality in this poem. The first two stanzas are a description of autumn, personifying it in various ways as a winnower, as a reaper, and as a gleaner. The third compares autumn with the other season. So the first stanza that is on your screen start with the lines like season of mists and mellow fruitfulness. As this poem is an ode, so first stanza is directly an invocation to the season, that is autumn here. So the poet is saying that season of mist and mellow fruitfulness, close bosom friend of the maturing sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run, to bend with apples the most cottage trees, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core, to swell the gourd and plump the hazel shells with a sweet kernel, to set budding more and still more later flowers for the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, for summer has overbrimmed their clammy shells. So, in this stanza, autumn is treated as the agent of the fullness and fruitfulness of the trees. So, the first line speaks about the characteristic of the season. In autumn season, this is a season of mist. Mist here means frost or haze, and mellow fruitfulness. Mellow means ripe or soft. So this is a season of frost, haze, in which we can't see through properly, and this is also a season of ripeness, fruitfulness. The second line conveys that close bosom friend of the maturing sun. In this second line, autumn season is also called close friend of brightly shining sun, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch eaves run. The third and fourth line conveys a thought that this is the season which conspiring means mingling or interfusing with the brightly shining sun, and these two friends, one is the maturing sun and the second is the autumn season, both of them are making tricks how to load and bless with fruit the vines, that how to make budding the vines that round the thatch eaves run, those vines which are on the roof. Thatch eaves means roof. Those vines which are crossing through the roof, and autumn season and the brightly shining sun, both are making tricks to load these vines with fruits, to bend with apples the most cottage trees. Most here means the lichen, that is also called sheval in Hindi. So to bend with apples the most cottage trees, and the next image is that on the cottage trees there are the trees of apples, and autumn season and maturing sun also making tricks to bend these trees with apples, and fill all fruit with ripeness to the core. They are also conspiring, they are also mingling together to fill all the fruit with ripeness to their core, to swell the gourd. Gourd here means that the vegetable we use. To swell the gourd means to ripe the gourd and to plump the hazel cells. Hazels means walnut. So they are making plans to plump the hazel shells with the sweet kernel, with the sweet core, to set budding more. And this, in this season, although this is a season of maturing, this is a season of ripening the fruits to their core, because this is the starting of shedding the leaves. So in this stanza the poet is saying to set budding more in the last of the, after the last season of spring there comes autumn. So this is the time, this is the mingling time of spring and autumn, in which time, in this time, more and more flowers bud, and still more later flowers for the bees. And that's why there are some later flowers that are blossoming for the bees. And the bees, until they think warm days will never cease, and the bees think that these days, these warm days which are ripening all the fruits, ripening all the dry fruits with the at the core, they will never cease. Means the bees are thinking that these days will never end, for summer has overbrimmed their clammy shells. Clammy means sticky, overbrimmed means overflowing, because they are thinking that um, they have stored so much honey that uh, their beehives are overflowing, and they are so sticky that the bees are thinking that these days will never end, and this season will remain forever. So in this stanza the poet is treating autumn as the agent of the fullness and fruitfulness. The rhyme scheme of this stanza is A B A B C D C D C C C. And here in these lines we can see the imagery that the poet used for the autumn season. And in the forthcoming videos I will explain stanza 2, in which the autumn season is personified as winnower, a reaper, and a gleaner. And in the third stanza we will study about the music of autumn season. So that's all about today, students. Thank you all.